James is my name, and keeping it real is my game. How did I do? No? No? All right, I'll just leave it to Eddie. Yeah, I'll leave it to him. Yeah. What's going on, guys? James here, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. Dolemite is My Name is one of the best movies about making a movie that I've ever seen. Now, there's much more to talk about with this film, but before I get started, if this is your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James. Now, if you're wondering who that is, that's me, and I love talking all about films, so if you like it just as much as me, go ahead and hit the big red button below and subscribe to the channel. I drop new videos each and every week, so hit the bell, and you'll get notified each time I drop something new. Also, don't forget to like and share this video with your friends, and you might not want this to be a movie you watch with your family. I mean, you could, but maybe not the little ones. You can probably keep them at home. And in the comments below, we like to have a discussion around here. So let me know what your favorite Eddie Murphy movie is, and I will not accept Nutty Professors to the clumps. All right, you guys, so let's dive right into Dolemite is My Name. Now, before I even talk about what I loved and didn't love, you're gonna wanna know, this is based on a true story. There's some historical fact here because Eddie Murphy plays Rudy Ray Moore, a failed comedian who assumes an alternate personality named Dolemite. He's vulgar, raunchy, and he becomes an action star, probably by his own sheer will. So there's a lot of history that bleeds into this film, and I believe that the director and all the writers did a great job with just kind of making it feel so real. Now, I'm not gonna just gloss over Eddie Murphy because, my goodness, the man deserves an Oscar nomination for this role. He's fantastic, and honestly, the phrase return to form is used so much, but it's true. And I haven't seen him in something so good since, what, Shrek the Third? Eddie Murphy has not been this good in many, many years. He's so funny, he's real, and yeah, pretty vulgar. Now, I really bought into the role of Eddie Murphy as Dolemite because of his amazing acting, but the character itself did not rise to stardom by himself. I mean, he had a ton of friends around him. So the supporting cast in this movie is just as exceptional as Eddie Murphy. I mean, you got Mike Epps, Titus Burgess, all my Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt fans stand up, and then an actor that I'm gonna spend a little bit of time talking about, Wesley Snipes. Let me tell you, he's funny, he's very smooth with his delivery, and it's like he just didn't take any time off of Hollywood. The guy is really good in this film, and I honestly believe he was directed perfectly. It's hilarious, you guys, trust me, it is so funny, and I don't wanna give away too much, but let's just say he's got a very flamboyant attitude in this film, and it just bleeds through the screen. And then you have Keegan-Michael, who is seemingly went from just being a funny man to actually having the chops. He's been good before this film, but in this movie, it's just like he's in his element. And I'm not gonna forget about Divine Joy Randolph. She's awesome. She plays, Rudy Ray Moore's right-hand girl, and oh my goodness, it's unreal to see how the supporting cast didn't even feel like a supporting cast. They all felt like they were just a part of this movie as much as Eddie was. Dolemite is My Name would not have been as good if it wasn't for everyone surrounding Eddie. Now, outside of all of the acting, there's something to be said about the aesthetic of the film. I mean, you have the neighborhoods that they shoot in, then you have the costume design. I mean, oh my goodness, all the costumes were on point. Even the dialogue, all the way from all the chatter you hear on the radio and the mannerisms. Listen, it just blends together and it makes Dolemite is My Name honestly that much better. Now, Dolemite is My Name is not all the way perfect, and that's because in the middle you start to feel that it drags just a little bit before it ramps up in intensity once again. After he becomes Dolemite and he's trying to sell his brand and he goes on the road and he goes to these like little comedy shows and stuff and he's struggling, that's not the worst thing in the world to witness, but you can kind of sense that the movie's really trying to get to the making of Rudy Ray Moore's film. You go through the motions and it feels a little like you're just going off the same beats from scene to scene. Eventually though, the movie breaks out of that funk and it becomes so much better. Now, Dolemite as a comedian is probably not my cup of tea in terms of the material. It's very vulgar, it's very raunchy, it's not something that I particularly laughed at. Now, there was some shock value, so I was like, oh, they just said what? And they're doing what? And what is this album cover? Oh my Lord. But honestly, the film doesn't really dwell too much on that. There's a very human aspect to it, so you start to understand the motivations of the character and you can see where, Rudy Ray Moore became Dolemite and why he wanted to take this alternate personality. And honestly, the ending is so heartfelt. It's like you had to go through a couple of those moments where you're like a little uncomfortable to get to that ending. Oh my goodness, it's so good. And I walked up out of that theater thinking Dolemite is My Name is not one of the best Netflix films. It's honestly one of the best movies of 2019. So overall, it's great to see Eddie Murphy in such a quality movie like Dolemite Is My Name. This is a movie that when it's firing on all cylinders, trust me, it's one of the best experiences that you're gonna have in cinema this year. I mean, it's such a joy. I laughed, I empathized with our core group of characters, and it was really cool to see that there's a little bit of history for me to learn. Eddie Murphy's still got something left in the tank, and it's something so special to see. Alright guys, so that was my take on Dolemite Is My Name. If you enjoyed everything that you heard and saw, go ahead and hit the big red button below and keep up with us here at Real James. Now don't forget to like this video, share with your friends, and in the comments below, let me know what you think when you see the film. Alright guys, so until next time, I'll catch you at the next screening. He's a tough son of a gun, y'all. His name is Dolemite. Is that how the lyrics go? I don't even know. It sounded pretty good, I think.